नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा। Today we'll continue the further discussion on Niti Shataka. We are almost nearing the end. 2 weeks back we discussed till the 96th shloka. We'll start from the 97th shloka. नैवा कृतिपलति नैव कुलं न शीलं विद्यापि नैव न च यत्नकृतापि सेवा भाग्यानि पूर्वतपसा खलु सञ्चितानि काले फलन्ति पुरुषस्य यथैव वृक्षाः. So let us see the shloka, understand the shloka once again. So this verse, this shloka also talks about the importance of the daiva. Bhagyameva samayanusaram phalam datum prabhavati iti pratipadayati. Bhagyam, one destiny only, at the appropriate time it will give the fruit. That is explained in the shloka. Naiva kriti palati. Akritihi. Akritihi here is referring to the beautiful form. Akritihi na eva phalati. Simply having a physical beauty that does not give the results of our action. Kulam naiva palati. Being born in a good family, kula, that will not give on the result of one's actions. That will not give on the desired results. Sheelam na palati. Even good behavior in this life may not give the right results. Vidya api na eva palati. Even knowledge will not give the results. Yatna krita seva api na palati. Yatna krita seva api. The seva performed with great efforts, that will also not give the results. Then what will give the results? Purva tapasa sanchitani purushasya bhagyani khalu kale palanti. Whatever austerities a person performed in the past, by that whatever piety a person had accumulated, that will only give the results in due course of time, kale, at the appropriate time. Yata vrikshaha kale eva phalanti. Just like the trees give fruit at the appropriate time. Although we may plant the seeds, we may actually put effort to water the seeds, water the tree. We may actually plant the seed in the right time. We may plow the land appropriately at the appropriate place. We may plant the tree according to the season, according to the soil. But still, just because you are planting the right seed, you are putting the right manure, just because you are watering regularly, just because you have chosen you have plowed the land properly, that doesn't mean that the tree will give the fruit immediately. The tree will give the fruit in due course of time at the appropriate time. So similarly, yeah, it's not that we don't put effort. It's not that we don't acquire knowledge. It is not that we should not endeavor for good behavior. Yeah, these things are needed, but even then, you cannot expect the result immediately. According to the daiva, according to the destiny, according to our past karma, all these things will give the results at the appropriate time. At the appropriate time. Adhishtanam tata karta karanam cha pratakvidam vividascha pratakcheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. In the Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, Krishna speaks about 5 factors of action. Adhishtanam, the place of action, the body. Karta, the doer. Karana, the instruments of action. And the pratakcheshta, the different life years. And then the 5th factor is the Daiva. And Daiva factor is the most important factor. Daiva is spoken as the super soul Bhagavan. Sometimes the Daiva is spoken as the destiny. Destiny is administered by the Bhagavan according to our past karma. So therefore, we should not forget that Daiva factor. So we had discussed previously also. So there are 2 extreme philosophies, Karmavada and Daivavada. Karmavada says that everything is in your hand. It does not take into account the Daiva factor. It only emphasizes one's own effort. And Daivavada is another extreme where only the destiny is emphasized. One's individual effort in the current time, that is not emphasized at all. So we also saw different verses in which sometimes the Daiva is emphasized, sometimes the Karma is endeavor is emphasized. The same author is writing. Yeah, ultimately both are required. Destiny and our endeavor. I mentioned previously that to open the jewelry locker in the bank, we need the 2 keys. The key of the manager and the key of the depositor. Both are required. This verse is emphasizing the importance of the Daiva. According to our past karma, at the appropriate time only we'll get the results. So, few points on this shloka. In fact, the same analogy is also given by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur in the 6th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Same analogy, what? How the trees give the fruits at the appropriate time. In the story of Ajamila, when the Vishnu Dutas speak about the glories of the power of the holy name, they speak about the power of the holy name. Very profound shlokas actually. How the holy name can actually destroy all the reactions, the sins. I'll just read one shloka, for example. Stena surapo mitradrug brahmaha guru talpaga स्त्री राजपितृ गोहंता ये च पातकिनो परे सर्वेषाम् अगवताम् इदम् एव सुनिष्कृतम् नाम व्याकरणं विष्णोर् यतस्तत् पुषयामतिः. The chanting of the holy name of Lord Vishnu is the best process of atonement for a thief of gold or other valuables, for a drunkard, for one who betrays a friend or relative, for one who kills a brahmana, or for one who indulges in sex with the wife of his guru or another superior. It is also the best method of atonement for one who murders women, the king or his father, for one who slaughters cows, and for all other sinful men. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Vishnu, such sinful persons may attract the attention of the Supreme Lord, who therefore considers, because this man has chanted my holy name, my duty is to give him protection. This is the thought of Vishnu. So we see sometimes these verses which talk about the glories of the holy name may be considered as the exaggeration. But that is not just because one may not see the results immediately. One may think, oh, these verses are exaggerated praises. But then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that although the exact, actually, maybe I'll read the Sanskrit commentary. What he says is, Tadevam Bhagavan Nama Sakrit Pravrittam Api Sadya Eva Samulam Papam Samharad Api Palan Api Vriksha Kala Eva Palati Iti Nyayena Prayah Kinchit Vilambata Eva Sviya Pala Lingam Loke Darshayitva. So what he says is that although the sin papa is completely uprooted just by chanting the holy name once, but in most cases the holy name shows its fruits to the world after some time, just as fruit trees bear fruit after some time only, not immediately. So how the trees give fruits in due course of time, at the appropriate time, not immediately. Similarly, when we chant the holy names, although the sin is uprooted, but the holy name will show its fruits to the world only after some time. The same analogy is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here. So therefore, that we may put endeavor, etc. We may put endeavor, we may develop good character, we may be born in a good family, etc. But still the fruits of our actions will come at the appropriate time according to our past karma. According to our past karma. So that is why even in the Mahabharata there is a shloka which talks about how a person can develop a complete knowledge of the Shastra. And that 5 factors are mentioned. One factor is service to the Guru. Second, service to the Guru. And another factor is hearing from the Guru. Third factor is doing one's own self-study. And then fourth factor is doing one's sadhana. That means doing one's sadhana practices, different the rituals recommended for the student. And fifth factor is the time factor. Even if a person is doing service to the guru, all these things, but still time also plays an important role in the development of a mature and complete knowledge. So this is the 97th shloka. We will go to the next shloka. वने रणे शत्रुजलाग्निमध्ये महार्णवे पर्वतमस्तके वा सुप्तं प्रमत्तं विषमस्थितं वा रक्षन्ति पुण्यानि पुरा कृतानि. This verse again actually talks about how the pious activity a person has performed will definitely protect a person, even though one may be in very dangerous, difficult situations. The theme of the shloka is that Puratanam punyameva purushanam sarvatra samrakshakam bhavati. Pura kritani punyani. The pious activities performed in the past. Vane, one may be in the very dense forest. Rane, one may be in the battlefield. Shatru jalagni madhye, one may be in the midst of the enemies or in the midst of water, maybe in the ocean, or one may be in the midst of a fire. Maharnave. Maharnave means one may be in the very dangerous ocean. Mahati Bhishanakare Sagare. Or Parvata Mastake. Parvataka Mastake, that means one may be in the peak of a mountain. Or Suptam Pramattam. Suptam, one may be in an unconscious state. Pramattam, one may be in a Pramatta means asavadhanam, in a careless. One may be in a careless state. Or Vishamastitam. Vishamastitam means Nimnonnatastale Vipattau Chastitam. Vishame Stitam. Nimna Unnatastale Vipattau Chastitam. That means basically a person is in a very difficult situation. Sankata Padne par. Vishame Vipattau Stitam. Vipatti means basically some difficulty. There could be many difficulties. Vipattau Stitam. One may be in all these situations, but Pura Kritani Punyani Rakshanti. One may be in all these dangerous situations, difficult situations, but the pious actions performed by the person in the past will definitely protect the person. पहले के किए गए पुण्य ही रक्षा करते हैं. So we see such shlokas or such nitis are important because the modern materialistic thought process. What is the materialistic thought process? Materialistic thought process does not worry about the future. They don't actually, many materialistic thought process does not even believe in the next life. They don't even believe in the next life. They may think just enjoy this life to the best capacity. Don't worry about the life after death. There is no life after death. So they don't believe in the transmigration of the soul actually. They identify themselves as a body, or even if they accept there is a soul, they think that a soul is born and the soul dies at the time of death. So for them, there is no concept of actually our karmas getting carried forward to the next life. Therefore, they don't worry about who is watching my action, like that. So therefore, Shastras, they talk about, therefore all the 5 topics of the Bhagavad Gita are very important. Jivatma, Paramatma, Kala, Karma, and Prakriti. All the five topics, although it may appear very theoretical, but it has very practical implications in the way the society functions. When a person understands about the nature of the soul, when a person understands about the change nature of Prakriti, nature of Kala, nature of Karma, it will make a person responsible. It will make a person follow his dharma. So therefore, this verse talks about how the the pious activities performed in the past will definitely protect him, irrespective of how much ever the danger situation a person may be in. So this verse, the Bhartrihari is speaking about in general about the past pious activities. But a similar mood, a similar theme shloka comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. Balasya neha sharanam pitarau narsingha nartasya chagadamudanvati majjatonau taptasya tat pratividhir yayikanja seshtas tavad vibho thanubrutham tvadupekshitanam. This verse talks about how the real protector is the Bhagavan. The real protector is the bhakti performed by a person to Bhagavan. So Prahlad Maharaj says that, O Supreme, my dear Lord Narasimhadeva, because of a bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglected and not cared for by you cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their child. A physician and medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient. And a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. We develop actually so many security arrangements for our comfort. Maybe when we go on a travel, we try to buy the best ticket. We try to go on a best ship or an aeroplane or a train. We may have our parents' bank balance, etc. But when a person is neglected by Krishna, then he cannot be protected. On the other hand, even if somebody is an anatha, orphan, but if he is protected by Krishna, he will be protected. Narada Muni, as a 5-year-old child, he became an orphan. He had his mother who was a maid servant. His mother died when he was just 5 years old. He didn't have anything practically. And that child, Narada, he traveled all over the world. But he was protected by Krishna and he became the transcendental spaceman Narada. Therefore, the shloka talks about how the piety which we performed in the past, that will definitely protect a person. So therefore, one should never actually, sometimes we doubt actually when we perform dharmic activities may be inconvenient to perform, but it will never fail to offer one protection at the right time, even at the most difficult times. Adharmic activities may be convenient to perform, but one cannot avoid suffering the reactions of those adharmic activities in the future. So this verse is giving an assurance how the dharmic activities will definitely protect a person, even in the most dangerous, fearful situation. Krishna speaks a similar verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Neha vikrama nashosti pratyavayona vidyate Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a slight advancement on the path of bhakti, the slight advancement on the path of dharma, neha vikrama nashosya, neha vikrama nashosya, pratyavayo na vidyate, swalpam api asya dharmasya. Even if a person makes slight advancement on the path of dharma, path of bhakti, it will save one from the greatest danger of life. Therefore, dharmo rakshati rakshataha. One should, just for the convenience sake, one should not choose adharma, one should choose dharma. 98th shloka. 99th shloka.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, as you said, like chanting holy name, like in that case, so the sin will be cleaned up, or still we have to bear the result?
No, definitely chanting of the holy names can destroy the sins more than what we can commit. That is a Shastric statement actually. Definitely eradicates not only the sinful reaction, it eradicates the sinful desire and the root cause of sin, that is avidya. But still, we do find devotees going through different reactions or going through different sufferings in their life. That is what we see pratyaksha in our eyes. But Shastra says that chanting completely eradicates all the sinful reactions. But our pratyaksha experience is that even those who chant the holy name, they go through sufferings. So how do we reconcile? The reconciliation is given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The second canto, third chapter, I think 17th or 18th shloka. Ayur harati vaipumsam udyanastam cha yannasau tasyarte yakshano nita uttama shloka vartaya. Because we see that a devotee is not under the influence of kala and karma. There are so many shlokas to support this. Kardama Muni's prayer in the third canto, and Krishna's direct word to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter. Except for you, the Kala will destroy everyone. Except for you, Pandavas, Kala will destroy everyone. When Kala does not act upon the devotees. So there are many verses. Lord Shiva's verse, Yatra Nirvishta Maranam Kritanto Nabi Manyate Vishwam Vidvam Shayam Virya Shaurya Vispurjita Bruva. Time controls everyone except the devotees who are surrendered to Vishnu. Lord Shiva is speaking this. But still, we do find the devotees, they also go through old age, disease, and death. That means our pratyaksha experience is that they are also under the influence of Kala. But the scriptures say otherwise. So how do we reconcile? So Vishwanath Chakravarti says that Krishna allows the effect of Kala and karma upon the devotees in order to increase the longing of the devotees towards him. Actually, the devotees' karmas are destroyed. In truth, the devotee is not under the influence of Kala. But Krishna allows the influence of Kala. That means the devotee also goes through old age, disease. A devotee also go through different sufferings in order to increase his longing to attain him, attain Bhagavan. And another reason is that in order to maintain the confidentiality of the bhakti process, it appears that a devotee of Krishna also appears to go through a normal situation like a materialist who goes through old age, disease, and different sufferings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
We'll go to the next shloka. या साधूं च कलान् करोति विदुषो मूर्खान् हितान् द्वेषिणः प्रत्यक्षं कुरुते परोक्षममृतम् हालाहलं तत्क्षणात् तामाराधय सत्क्रियां भगवतीं भोक्तुं फलं वाञ्छितम् हे साधो व्यसनैर्गुणेषु विपुलेषु वास्थामृता मा कृता. So what is the meaning of the shloka? This verse talks about Mahatvam Pradarshayan Satkarmanah Karaniyatam Nirupayati. So this verse talks about the importance of performing satkarma, pious activities, the right karma. So previously we discussed about how the past karma, daiva, some verses emphasize with the importance of daiva. This verse is talking about the importance of performing good karma. Ya kalan sadun karoti, murkan vidushah karoti. Kalan means wicked person. Kalan sadun karoti. That activity which converts which makes a wicked person into a sadhu. Murkan vidushah karoti. That activity which converts which makes a murka, fool, into a learned person. Dveshinah hitan karoti. That which makes a dveshina, that means envious person, into a well-wisher, hitan karoti. Paroksham pratyaksham kurute. Paroksham means invisible. That which makes the invisible or unmanifest object visible. Paroksham pratyaksham kurute. Halahalam tat kshanat amrutam kurute. That which converts the halahala poison to a amrita in a moment. Tat kshanat amrutam kurute. He sadhu, O sadhu, vanchitam phalam bhoktum. If you have a desire to if you have a desire to experience your desired fruit, vanchitam phalam bhoktum. If you want to experience right results in your life, then tam bhagavatim satkriyam aradaya. Then tam bhagavatim satkriyam. Then you perform such satkriya. Then you perform such satkriya which will convert. What is the nature of satkriya? Which will convert a wicked person into a sadhu, which will make a murka into the learned person, which will make a envious person into a well-wisher, which will make a invisible object visible, which will convert a amrita into poison, poison into an amrita. So you must perform such satkriya towards Bhagavan. Bhagavatim satkriyam aradaya. Vyasanaihi vipuleshu guneshu vrita astam makritaha. Vyasanaihi vipuleshu guneshu vrita astam makritaha. That means बहुत बहुत दुख देने वाले गुणों में व्यर्थ प्रयत्न न करो. Sometimes how we can see this shloka is that sometimes we only develop we put endeavor to acquire certain skills, but we don't put endeavor to develop the right conduct. Oftentimes the people they put great effort in acquiring certain skills, they are putting great effort for the acquisitions of the various qualifications. But this verse is talking about the importance of cultivating good conduct, which makes evil men good, the fools wise, which makes the enemies well disposed, which makes the invisible things visible, and which turns poison into nectar in a moment, if you desire to gain your desired objects. So, this is also important, this one, because the modern culture, people are after the certain skills and degrees, but they don't give importance to developing right conduct. So most people, parents, they are so concerned about the children getting educated, having good degrees, but they may sometimes we may neglect about them developing good conduct. Yeah, they want children to develop good conduct. Sometimes that aspect may be neglected. We may overemphasize degree, money, etc. So one devotee was sharing. He came from the America to settle in India just for his children's education. The children grew up in America till 7th standard, his elder daughter. But in America, because after a certain age, that his daughter was his daughter and son, they were brought up in a devotee community school. They were not exposed to the outside school only. But at a certain point, they have to go to the common school college. And in America, it is so common. Sex and drugs are very common. So then, in order to protect the children, only mainly for the sake of the children, he moved to India. And then in India also, he actually took admission for his daughter and son in a pious school. In Bangalore, there are some schools run by Madhva community. So he put in such an environment. So practically till 12th standard, the daughter was confined to a pious environment in the school. And then she got some All India rank 3 in an entrance exam, in some architectural entrance exam. And then she was admitted in the top college in India, and she got full scholarship for whole 5 years, 5 lakh rupees per year, 25 lakhs scholarship for whole 5 years. But then when she got admitted into the college, practically all the girls in the class, they smoke e-cigarettes. This is about girls smoking, that too in the very first semester, e-cigarettes actually. And like his parents were so concerned that where have I put my daughter? I have protected my children. I've made so much of sacrifice, but ultimately I put my daughter in such an environment actually. And that's a top college in India. And especially in the colleges actually, in the art colleges, architectural colleges, the the leftist thought process, the liberal culture is much more prominent than the other colleges. They feel that when you smoke, when you drink, at that time you get creativity, your creativity increases. So that he was sharing the difficulties of actually, he said that how he went for 6 months to that particular place, the city, and the daughter was studying, and he was staying with his daughter, staying in a separate flat, and then he was personally cooking for the daughter, so to protect the daughter. So the point is, why I'm saying is that many times we may be concerned about the children developing good, getting good degree, etc. But then in the process, the environment in which they study may not be conducive for them to develop good conduct. This verse is actually telling about the importance of good conduct if you desire to gain your desired objects. Simply developing some skills or various qualifications in the form of the degree, that is not actually, by that one cannot get desired results. In Hanumanji's life, if we see, Hanumanji achieved success in his life by three aspects. Hanumanji there are three secrets in Hanumanji's success. One is that Bhakti, another is Shakti, another is Yukti. Bhakti is a devotion to Lord Ram. Shakti refers to his resources, the power he had, the physical power, the resources he had. And Yukti represents the strategy, the tactfulness, the strategy. So all these three things are needed to attain success in any endeavor. Of course, the most important thing is the bhakti or devotion to Bhagavan. But because bhakti should not make us inactive or lazy to acquire resources and employ our intelligence. Yeah, we should put effort to acquire intelligence. We should put effort to acquire the right skills and resources to achieve success in endeavor. Like Arjuna during the Vanavas, Arjuna actually acquired so many different astras from different devatas. He was accumulating. And the Pandavas were going through continuous learning by meeting different sages. They were accumulating different resources and they were learning. Their learning was getting mature. So Shakti is important. Devotion does not mean one becomes lazy. And Yukti, you should also have you should use the right strategy. And of course, the most important thing is the Bhakti to Bhagavan. Bhakti to Bhagavan. So that is emphasized here. So maybe we'll take up the last shloka. गुणवद्वा कुर्वता कार्यजातम् परिणतिरवधार्या यत्नतः पंडितेन अतिरवसकृतानां कर्मणामाविपत्तेर्भवति हृदयदाहि शल्यतुल्यो विपाकः. So this verse talks about sakalam karyam tat parinama vichara purassarameva kartavyam vidvadbihi rityaha. This verse talks about how one should perform all the activities after thinking properly, not in a hasteful manner. So gunavat va agunavat karyajatam kurvata panditena parinatihi yatnataha avadarya. That means we have to think that gunavat ya agunavat, गुणों से युक्त अथवा गुणों से रहित कार्यों को करने वाले बुद्धिमान को विचार पूर्वक परिणाम निश्चित कर लेना चाहिए. So parinati, before doing an action, one should contemplate about the consequences of the action. Will the consequences of the action will be fruitful, gunavat, or agunavat, or will it lead to wrong consequences? So yatnataha avadarya. Yatnataha avadarya. That means avadarya means one should actually think about it. Parinatihi means uttamo adamo va. Is this action will it lead to a uttama result or adama result? By doing the action, yatnataha. Avadarya means vicharaniya. One should contemplate on this. If a person does not do that, without thinking, if a person performs the action hastefully, Ati rabasa kritanam karmanam. Ati rabasa kritanam karmanam vipakaha shalyatulyaha avipattehe hridayadahi bhavati. Ati rabasa kritanam karmanam. Those activities which are performed in a hasteful manner. Vipakaha. They will result in pain, like the shalya tulyaha, like the piercing of a sharp arrow. Till what time? Avipattehe, till the point of death. Hridaya dahi bhavati. They will give great pain to the heart till the point of death. Those actions which are performed without any without giving a due thought, in a hasteful manner. क्योंकि अति वेग से किए हुए कार्यों का परिणाम मरते समय तक कांटों की बाती हृदय को जलाने वाला होता है. Till the point of death, it will actually pierce the heart like a foreign substance in the body. So therefore, this verse talks about the importance of doing an action by giving after thinking. So if you see the word manava, manushya or manava, it comes from the root dhatu man. That means to think. The leader of the human being is Manu. Manu means what? Manu means literally means a thinker. And human beings are called as Manushya. The word Manushya or Manava, put it. Yeah. So Manushya, it actually means thought-dominated beings. So human beings are expected to be thought-dominated beings, actually. So therefore, the dharma established by Manu and the sages is specifically intended for human beings, in which thinking is a dominant feature. So one of the dominant feature of a human being is that his thinking. But if a human being does not think before action, if he just performs the action hastily, that is a sign of an animal actually. Then he becomes a two-legged animal. So therefore we see there's another shloka on Hitopadesha. Sujirna mannam suvichakshana sutaha sushasitastri nripati susevitaha suchintya choktam suvicharya yatkritam sudirga kalepi nayati vikriyam. Sujirna mannam, the food which is digested properly. Suvichakshana sutaha, an intelligent son. Sushasita stri. Sushasita stri, that means we can say that a woman sushtu atmana anushasita. So atmanah anushasanena sanmargamini stri. A woman who is actually who is trained in the codes of dharma, who is chaste to the husband. Sushasita stri. Nripatihi susevitah. That means that king who takes guidance from proper ministers, who takes guidance from the proper brahmanas. Mantri senapatyadibihi samyak anugatah raja. That king who takes guidance from the proper brahmanas and the proper sages. And suchintya choktam, those words which are uttered after thinking properly. Suchintya cha uktam. And suvicharya yatkritam, those actions which are performed after thinking properly. So all these things, sudirga kalepi nayati vikriyam. So all these, the list which is mentioned here, of course, I'm quoting the shloka in relation to suvicharya yatkritam, actions performed after properly thinking. So all these things will give great benefit for a long period of time. Sudirga kalepi nayati vikriyam. So for a long time, for a long period, they will actually give beneficial results. Nayati vikriyam. So therefore, even we see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Shukracharya gave advice to Bali Maharaj not to give charity to Vamanadev, at that time, Bali Maharaj started thinking. Balirevam grihapati kulacharyena bhashitah tushnim bhutva kshanam rajan uvacha vahito gurum. At that time, Bali Maharaj remained silent for some time, and then with full deliberation, he replied to the Guru as follows. He did not blindly follow the words of Shukracharya. So Bali Maharaj at that time, he actually thought deeply, and he decided to follow the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, that is to surrender to Vishnu. So therefore, it is important. Rajoguna does not allow one to think. Rajoguna makes in Rajoguna a person is thinking about the immediate pleasure, convenience. But Sattva makes a person think about the consequences of the action. So how, when we perform an action without thinking in a hasty way, even if we may make a small mistake, but the result of that small mistake we may actually experience till the point of death. What is the example for that? We see in the Mahabharata. So Gandhari was pregnant, and Kunti also became pregnant. Kunti also became pregnant, and then Kunti gave birth to Yudhishthira Maharaj first. So Gandhari was given this news that about the birth of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So in the spur of the moment, Gandhari struck her belly because she was feeling she wanted her son to be the eldest. But then Kunti gave birth to the Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then he wanted, like she had been pregnant. So therefore, in the spur of the moment, out of envy towards Kunti, she actually struck her belly, and because of that, when she struck her belly, that act was filled with her envy towards Kunti. And what was the result of that? She gave birth to sons who were envious towards the Pandavas. And which finally culminated in the huge massacre, the loss of all her sons. In one sense, the mistake of Gandhari was for a small moment. Gandhari is actually a very pious lady. Gandhari, the Mahabharata beginning, Vyasadeva speaks about the purpose of Mahabharata. He says one of the purpose of Mahabharata to speak about the Pativrata of the Gandhari. But still, Gandhari committed a mistake. She committed two mistakes. One mistake is this, and another mistake is she cursed Krishna. So this mistake was actually this mistake is for a small period of time. Without thinking, she actually, out of her envy towards Kunti, she actually struck her belly. But the result of this mistake, action performed without thinking, she experienced it till the point of death. Her sons were envious towards the Pandavas, and we know the entire story of Mahabharata and how she lost all her sons. Another this thing, for example, Ambika, Vyasadeva was brought by Satyavati to actually procreate Ambika and Ambalika. So Vyasadeva said that I have been practicing austerities for a long time. I think I will procreate in your daughter-in-law after 1 year, because let them also perform some austerities and then let them be prepared to receive my virya. Give some time for a period of 1 year and then I will procreate. But then Satyavati was hasty. She didn't want to delay. No, I cannot wait for 1 year. There was no king. I cannot wait for 1 year. You procreate immediately. So it is an action performed hastily. And then Ambika, uh, she should think, instead of thinking that Vyasadev's, I am so fortunate to receive the virya of such a great sage Vyasadev. Instead of that, Ambika saw, oh, this Vyasadev is he doesn't have a beautiful form. He is actually having the jata and all these features of a rishi he has. And then because of that, she actually closed her eyes by seeing the form of Vyasadev. So she was not in a mood of welcoming Vyasadev. So the mistake maybe was performed for a moment only, because Vyasadev procreated Ambika just for a moment. He placed his virya and went away. But Ambika, for a moment, she was not welcoming Vyasadev. But the result of that mistake is that she had to experience till for the whole life. She got a blind son. So sometimes we may commit a mistake, we may perform an action without thinking deeply. We may commit a mistake. The mistake may be small, but when the mistake is performed at a certain crucial junction of the time, the result of the mistake we may be experiencing for the whole life. Therefore, this verse is actually warning. This verse is saying that Ati Rabasa Kritanam Karmanam Avipatter Bhavati Hridayadahi Shalyatulyo Vipaka. Till the point of death, one may actually, that result of that mistake may be piercing one's heart like an arrow. So this is the shloka. So I'll stop here. If anybody has any. We saw 4 shlokas today, 87 to 100. First we saw that how our past our past performed pious activities are the daiva that will only give the results at the right time, just like the trees give fruits at the right time. And then we say, second, this one is that our past, the piety we performed in the past, that will definitely protect a person, how much ever a difficult situation a person may be in. And then next is that instead of putting our endeavor only to acquire skills, we must put our endeavor to develop good conduct. Such good conduct which will convert the wicked into sadhus, fool into learned person, envious person into a well-wisher, etc. And then the 100th shloka, we talked about how we should perform the action after thinking properly. One should not perform actions in a hasteful manner. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What you would like to add?
Hare Krishna Babu. So is the on the last sloka, so is the mistake is done by us or directed by the destiny?
We have the free will, na? Human being has the free will.
Yeah.
Our past, the Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, the Rajoguna and Tamoguna, which is stored in our mind, may push us to perform a certain activity. But still we have the free will. Do we want to listen to the guidance from the Shastra and Sadhu, or do we want to listen to the pullings of the Rajoguna and Tamoguna? The free will is that special characteristics of a human being. The destiny, our
Yeah.
past actions pull a person in some direction, but still we have the free will.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we'll stop here. So we have 10 more shlokas actually. 110 shlokas are there. There are 10 more shlokas. So mostly we'll take 2 classes and complete it. So I'll end here. Thank you very much for your question. Srila Prabhupada ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.